Episode 3. It sounded like mockery to Madison when the salesperson kept mentioning Mrs. Williams. A year ago, she had told Andrea confidently that she would never divorce Hunter and asked her to give up. In just a year, everybody, high and low, knew who she was. Madison felt more and more convinced that her marriage with Hunter was nothing but a scheme. Noticing her hesitation, Andrea smiled brightly and said, "Ms. Evans, why don't you name a price?" That bitch's cocky expression disgusted Madison. She said coldly, "I'm not selling it anymore." However, Andrea wouldn't let it go. "Ms. Evans, you're already at the end of your rope. Don't tell me that you still care about dignity. If I were you, I would sell it immediately. Has no one ever told you that stubbornness isn't a good look on you?" What a joke, Ms. Davis. Robbing other people of their things has made you think you really own them. Why don't you go and rob a bank? While they were fighting, the ring flew out of the box in a graceful arc and fell to the floor with a soft clink. Madison immediately rushed toward it, but the ring rolled to a stop by a pair of elegant leather shoes by the door. When Madison bent down to pick it up, a drop of water dripped onto the back of her neck and sent chills through her. She looked up slowly into a pair of cold, emotionless eyes. Hunter was still holding an open umbrella, and droplets of water dripped from it onto her head. The black wool coat he was wearing complemented his figure and made him look stylish. Madison stared at him blankly and recalled the first time she had seen him. 20-year-old Hunter had been wearing a white shirt as he stood on the sunbathed field, but it was as if he had been standing right inside her heart. That image was branded in her mind ever since she was 14. Now, she was wearing a sweater that made her look even skinnier with its fuzzy material. Her chin was sharp, and she looked thinner than she was 3 months ago. He looked grand and unparalleled, while she looked miserable and pathetic. Madison's hand, which was about to pick up the ring, stopped in midair. While she was in a daze, Hunter expressionlessly raised his foot and stepped on the ring on his way past her. Madison remained crouched. That ring had been designed according to his taste. Its design wasn't exaggerated, but it had a unique style. There was only one ring like that in the whole world. After he had put it on her, Madison had never taken it off except when she was showering. If it wasn't because she was really in desperate need of money this time, she wouldn't have gone to such measures. However, what was a treasure in her eyes was just worthless rubbish to him. He hadn't just stepped on the ring, but also the past that she treated so preciously. Andrea smiled and went to him while explaining, "Hunter, you're here. I just happened to be picking out jewelry when I saw Ms. Evans selling her ring." Hunter's cold expression betrayed no emotions. His icy gaze rested on Madison while she tried her best to suppress her fury. He then asked, "You want to sell that ring?" Madison held back her tears and bit her lip to stop herself from crying. "Yes. Would you like to buy it, Mr. Williams?" Hunter smirked mockingly and said, "I remember you telling me how important that ring is to you. I can see how sincere you were now. Anything that is disregarded by someone else is worthless to me." As Madison was about to answer, she felt a burning pain in her stomach. As the tumor grew, the pain went from a slight ache to a piercing pain. She looked at the couple, who looked like a match made in heaven in their matching black and white coats under the bright lights. She suddenly lost the strength to explain herself. A man whose feelings had changed wouldn't be bothered even if she gave him her heart. Madison fought against the pain and picked up the ring. Then, she slowly walked back to the counter to retrieve the box and certificate. She didn't want to show weakness in front of Hunter. Although the pain was enough to make her pass out, she still maintained a steady gait. When she walked past him, she said mildly, "Just like you. I treated it like a treasure last time, but now it's just a piece of metal I can exchange for money." Hunter felt that something was off with her. Her forehead was beaded with sweat, and her face was as white as a sheet. She looked like she was trying her best to fight against some sort of pain. Suddenly, he gripped her arm and said in a low voice, "What's wrong?" Madison shook off his hand and said, "It has nothing to do with you." She did not spare him another glance and did her best to keep her back straight as she disappeared from his sight. Hunter watched her leave. He had been the one to let her go, but why did his heart still ache? Madison went to a deserted corner and dug her painkillers out of her bag in a fluster. She knew that all the treatments and cancer medicine had side effects, so she only bought some painkillers and regular stomach medicine, which was better than nothing. Gazing out at the heavy rain, she thought, "Is that the only choice I have left?" That was the last person she wanted to meet, but she had no choice but to take a gamble for her father's sake. Madison went home to clean herself up before taking a taxi to Hawthorne Villa. When she had returned to the country more than a year ago, that person had called Madison once. They hadn't met in more than 10 years, and Madison had no idea how she was doing. Judging by the grand villa, Madison guessed that she had been doing pretty well. After stating the purpose of her visit, a maid led Madison into the living room, where a graceful woman was sitting. She was as beautiful as Madison remembered her to be. "Maddie," said the woman as she looked at Madison with her pretty eyes. However, Madison couldn't bring herself to call her Mom. Chloe Parker had left when Madison was 8. It was Jeff's birthday, and Madison had been in high spirits, eager to return home and celebrate her father's birthday with her family. She never knew that what awaited her was her parents' divorce. Madison had chased after her mother, scrambling down the stairs and falling. She did not even realize that she had lost her shoes. All she cared about was clinging onto her mother's legs and crying, "Mom, don't go." The graceful woman bent down, stroked Madison's cheeks, and said, "I'm sorry. Mom, I'm first in my grade. You haven't seen my test papers yet. You have to sign them. Don't leave me, Mom. I'll be a good girl. I promise I won't go to any more fun fairs. I won't make you mad. I'll listen to you. Please." Hastily, young Madison blubbered everything she could think of in hopes of making Chloe stay. In the end, Chloe simply told Madison that her marriage with Madison's father was not a happy one and that she had found her true happiness elsewhere. Later, Madison watched as a man she had never met helped Chloe place her luggage in a car, and they both left while holding each other's hands. She chased after their car for a mile without wearing any shoes before crashing heavily onto the ground. Her feet and knees were scraped, and they bled as she stared at the gradually diminishing outline of the car that she could never reach. At that time, she could not understand what had happened. Now that she was grown up, she knew that it was because her mother had been caught cheating on her father and simply decided to file for a divorce, leaving him with everything, including Madison herself. Chloe had never contacted Madison, and the latter hated her with every fiber of her being. She even hoped that she would never have to meet Chloe again. However, fate worked in mysterious ways, and Madison could do nothing to stop it. Her throat went dry, and her feet turned to lead. Chloe knew what was on her daughter's mind. She approached Madison and pulled her to sit beside her. "I know you hate me. You were very young back then. Lots of things weren't as simple as they seemed, so I wasn't able to explain them to you." She caressed Madison's cheeks and continued, "Look at you, all grown up now. Maddie, now that I'm back, I'll be staying here permanently. I know something's happened to the Evans family. It doesn't matter, though, because I'll take care of you."
Full story is available at novelpalace.com. Click the link in the comment section to get it free.